And once I get off of this, I'm probably going to crack the window, let some of that summer breeze, that summer rain smell flow in. So, yeah, I'm going to stream later on Twitch. We'll get some gaming going. I'm not sure what to play just yet. I've been playing some more Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. That's been pretty wild. I'm not sure. We're going to feel it out. So that'll be around 6 o'clock or so for those of you that are into that kind of stuff. But yeah, shout out to you. Who is in here? Dr. Menda, pictures bad quality today. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're having some technical issues. I don't know if the rain is affecting what we've got going on. I don't know if the connection to the Wi-Fi happening right now. I'm not really a cyborg, so I can't just go and fix all that. I can't do that, but hopefully, having as bad of a connection issue. So, can I talk about the Snyder Cut? I can, but I'll save some of that. Going to be coming up in the next little bit. Obviously, they've got JusticeCon at the end of this month on the 25th and 26th of July. I think that's it. Either 24th or 25th or 25th and 26th. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that. But and then they have DCFanDome. I mean, I'm sure Zach will be talking about all things Snyder Cut, so I don't want to speak out of turn and say anything about it that I can't say. But yeah, we'll chop it up a little bit in like 2 weeks about all that stuff. So just be patient. Be patient. Good things come to those who wait, but not to those who wait too late. How about that? Use the mother box. Use the mother box to fix the internet connection. I mean, I guess I could try. If the mother box is the modem box. Back question mark? I know nothing about that. Hopefully. But yeah, I don't have any specific information. I'm usually the last one to find out things, but that's okay because it actually ends up being fun to sort of find these things out in real time, right? I can still be surprised by things and go, ooh, okay, let me go verify that. Let me go get to the bottom of that. And yeah, so. To inspire people to continue to fight for justice and the rights of others and for the people and even in your immediate vicinity, right? It's tough, but it's one of those things that you kind of have to do. Little things can make a really big difference when it comes to that. So, no, not everything has to be a sweeping, like a grand sweeping gesture, right? And I think if we were a bit more day-to-day maintenance, we wouldn't need to make these sort of sweeping gestures all at once. So shout out to you guys who are maintaining on the day-to-day, making sure that you're keeping everything socially and social justice-wise, making sure that you're keeping everything tight. So let me see. I think I can adjust the lighting here. And forgive me, I went for a run this morning. And it's the perfect time to do it because obviously it's rainy and there aren't very many folks on the streets. But I went for a run this morning and your boy is feeling it. Uh, your boy may need a little bit of a nap. So, let's see. Seth Ray Man says, "Saw you at Comic Con in Philly. You were great." Wait, man. Oh, I appreciate you saying it. Yeah, that was a fun one, man. I'm from South Jersey. they're getting much better at making cheesesteaks that aren't necessarily steak or chicken or anything of that nature. So out there, let's see what we can do connecting. Let's see if that'll fix that issue. But come to New Jersey sometime, bro. Please. I'm always in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. My family's in New Jersey. Yeah, I'm from South Jersey though, so I don't know what part of Jersey you may be from. But I'm from Camden County is the name of that county. So JL Foot says, I met you once and you were really nice. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Where did I meet you, JL Foot? Can you describe it for me? I don't know if it was at a comic convention or maybe on the street somewhere. Usually if I'm walking down the street, because, obviously when I'm in the cyborg of it all, people don't recognize me because, face is half covered. I don't have, facial hair, that kind of stuff. But every now and then you'll get somebody who'll be like, excuse me, this is weird, but are you the guy that played Cyborg? And I'll go, nah, who's that? And they'll go, you look like you could be this guy's cousin. You look like you could be his cousin. And I'll usually have some fun with him for a little bit, and then I'll go, yeah, no, I'm just joking, that was me. And then people go, oh man, I knew it. And I didn't know it was you. I didn't think it was you, until you started actually talking. And I was like, oh, okay, that's definitely him. That's got to be his voice. So usually I like to have fun with people before that kind of thing. But if you ever see me on the street and you're like, I think that's him, but I look real focused, like I'm trying to go somewhere, just don't be intimidated by my walking Borg face. So yeah. Yeah, so it's JL. Well, I think I might have missed the comment where JL Foot may have said where I may have met JL Foot, because I'm actually really good with faces. Sorry, 1 second. Shout out to Panama. I see you out there. Someone says I seem relaxed today. Yeah, no, that's the run. Your boy went for a decent run, maybe about 4 miles or so, and got back, had breakfast, took a shower, drinking some tea now, just trying to vibe out. That and the weather too. This is really good. It's really good napping weather for those who can nap. And so I'll definitely be hitting that up. Shout out to the Nerd Queens out there. I see you out there. Shout out to you. The Nerd Queens are absolutely instrumental in helping to set up JusticeCon and all that. So shout out to you all. Shout out to Cole and I believe it's Nana. And it's either Nana or Nana. I don't exactly know. But thank you guys for organizing that. And obviously thank you for all the love and support that you're giving to all things DC, just flat out. So, yeah, no, definitely amazing weather for napping. Shout out to Colombia. I see you out there. Big love to India. I see you out there. I see a little bit of negativity out there in the chat with respect to Joss Whedon and all that. So I would like to encourage folks to try to keep the chat as positive as we can. That situation is going to get handled. We're already in talks and getting that sort of situation dealt with. So if we can, and some of you may be new to my streams and maybe you haven't participated in my video game streams and things like that, but I try my best to keep it as positive as I can. I do use expletives in my life, and sometimes I use too many expletives in my life, but I'm working on that, and specifically when it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm trying to keep it mellow, right? So, but shout out to Costa Rica. I hear so many nice things about Costa Rica. Just bro, just go there, hang out for a weekend if you can, and just chill. They're one of the most beautiful places on earth. So, yeah, I'm going to make it an effort. I'm going to make a really big effort so when we get out of this whole COVID situation, and mind you, I said when we, not if we, when we, right? When we all do our part and make sure that this thing gets slowed down and stopped, we can all travel the world safely again. I definitely got a couple places I want to hit. So Costa Rica's on my list. Shout out to Guatemala. I see you out there. Come on now. Come on now. Come to Comic-Con Brazil 2021. You know, I was actually supposed to, obviously, like the comic convention game has been just essentially shut down, right? There's a lot of digital conventions that are happening now. But I was actually set to go to South America it was supposed to be this summer, actually, for a comic convention. And obviously those things are now no longer a thing. But yeah, hopefully when that gets geared back up in a safe way, we'll be able to go out and say hi. That's the only... Well, no, I've never been to Africa. I was going to say South America is the only continent I haven't been to. But I haven't been to Africa, and I have not been to South America. I think I've been to every other continent just about. So that's next. It's got to be. Shout out to Virginia. Come on now. Big love to Texas. Come on now. Detroit. Everybody's shouting it out. Listen, I appreciate y'all being here with me. I appreciate you vibing out with me for just a little bit, having a sip of tea or two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that some sort of code sequence? 1001001 1100. So I think some folks may be getting restless and just typing for the sake of typing. But listen, shout out to you. As long as it's not offensive, as long as it's coming from your heart, and as long as it's not emojis through and through, then I'm fine. Shout out to Morocco. Shout out to Russia. Privet. Shout out to Malaysia. Is that green tea? It's not green tea today. It's actually a spicy ginger tea. And I had some caffeine earlier this morning, so I'm trying to cool it this afternoon. So can you please say hi to my sons, Alex and Eli? Absolutely. Hi, Alex, and hi, Eli. This is your old boy, Ray Fisher. You know. Now, I don't know how old you are, because I'm assuming either your mother or father, I'm not sure who's running this. No one told me how old you are, but I'm just going to say this. Keep positive, stay strong as best you can, and all that. Yeah. Let's see, do you know about Batman? Nah, I mean, I heard about him. I didn't think he was real, though. You know, that's all I know about Batman. So let's see. Twinings green tea with the jasmine is one of the best green teas I've ever had. Go ahead, Bugs Boom. Go ahead. Come on now. I can't wait to see you at JusticeCon. Hey, listen, I can't wait to be there. Obviously, everything that's happened with the Snyder Cut and the release of that and the support Zach and Debbie and the entire family got with all of this, like there's nothing that has ever, at least to my knowledge, there's nothing that's ever happened like this before. So I would often say, like, if this is all I'm blessed to do in the film game, in the TV game, or whatever kind of, you know, in front of the camera stuff, then I'm fine. Like, this is an experience that is beyond unique. So, you know, that is what it is. See, what was it like meeting Lord and Miller? Phil Lord and Chris Miller are actually some of the funniest and most genuine people I've had the pleasure of sitting down with in the business, right? So, you know, we ended up hanging out. That was actually my first time ever meeting Ezra as well, was with Phil Lord and Chris Miller. And I remember we met up in New York, right? They were here, and they wanted to sit down and chat with me, right? And so we had lunch, and we were going to meet Ezra in Brooklyn. And we made the mistake of jumping in a cab instead of taking the train. And we hit rush hour traffic coming into Brooklyn to meet up with Ezra. And it ended up taking us a crazy amount of time to get there. We were like, yeah, sorry, bro, we're running late. We're in a cab. And he's just like, yeah, man, rookie mistake. Should have took the train. And yeah, so we really just got to kick it, chill, talk about everything and nothing simultaneously. And yeah, you know, I really did enjoy that time. So So, sorry, I missed something here. You know, my old bore guys just ain't what they used to be. I gotta go ahead and scroll back. I was taking a waltz down Phil Lord and Chris Miller, outside of obviously being super talented, right? They're just genuinely nice people, which are the only kinds of people that I actually think I want to work with from now on, right? Yeah, that's it. Just, you know, it doesn't have to be that much drama, that much stress. Like, artistic stuff aside, however things turn out artistically, I'm fine. You know, I've done plays, I've done theater, I've done plenty of projects where I'm like, well, didn't turn out the best, but I had a good time doing it. And at the end of the day, as long as you can say you had a good time doing it, that's enough. That's at least enough for me, right? So, shout out to Peru, shout out to India. Come on now. Are we going to see you at DCFanDome? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. Ray, my 8-year-old son loves you. He has ADHD and sensory texture disorders. So many things are difficult for him. How can we are sorry with you, sir? Well, I'm not exactly sure. I'll tell you what, if you send me a DM, I'll be on the lookout. And I'm sorry to hear that your son is having so many issues out there. I don't really, I'm not sure exactly what sensory texture, what that entails, but please shoot me a DM. I'll be on the lookout, and we can chat about some things. So, Argentina in the house. I see you out there, Argentina. Come on now. Yeah. Let's see when JusticeCon happens. JusticeCon and this. Oh, shout out Louisiana. Come on, Louisiana. Come through, Louisiana. I got to spend a little time in Louisiana. Where was I at? I was in New Orleans, actually. So I shot an episode of a show called Astronaut Wives Club, and that was the only time I've ever been down to New Orleans. And you know, there was a woman who was working on the scene I was in by the name of I'm going to butcher her last name. I believe her last name was Gourier. I believe it was Dana Gourier, and she ended up showing me around town and took me to the vignette place. I forget what the name of it is. Oh gosh, what was it? It was like a cafe of something or other. And so we get there, and you know, she's a great tour guide, right? And she's used to this at this point because she's from Louisiana, and a ton of stuff was shooting down there at that time. And so she's driving around. She's like, okay, well, this is that place over here. Here's where a lot of like hoodoo stuff had gone down, and I didn't really know anything about like voodoo or hoodoo at that time. And she was giving me like the rundown. She also gave me like the rundown of like the cemeteries, like the above ground sort of cemeteries, right? And like how you can't open them but like once every 6 months, like you put the body in, and well, it's going to get real morbid. Anyway, so she's showing me around town. She's like, oh, well, you got to do the vignette thing. Cafe du Monde, that's what it is. Okay, thank you. She's like, you got to do the vignette thing, or beignet thing, and I was like, okay, cool. She's like, it's kind of touristy, but you can't come here and not do it. So I'm looking at these things. I'm like, oh, it's like a puffy funnel cake. Okay, cool. They put some sugar on it, and just as I'm about to take a bite, she's sitting across from me. She goes and blows powdered sugar all over me, and I'm like, what is happening? What are you doing? And she's like, no, I'm sorry. That is a tradition here. It is an absolute tradition. Like, it's a New Orleans thing. I promise you. And I was like, okay, I get it. Like, joke on the new guy. But no, she was a really sweet person. And I've seen her in some stuff since. Oh, and it's escaping me. And you guys have probably seen her in things over the years and just been like, the person looks familiar. But it was a really good time. So, have I ever been to Harlem, says Alien-Based Plant. I've lived in Harlem for some time as well. After I graduated school in New York, I bounced around a lot in New York City. I lived in Washington Heights. I lived in Harlem. I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in just a bunch of different places. At that time, it was like wherever I could afford to live and also be pursuing acting, that's where I'd be. And so a lot of the journey was just subletting different places. So if you had, friends who were out of town doing a show, and you're like, all right, well, I'm doing a show in this place in the next 6 months. Let me just go ahead and just sublet this spot because I'm going to be bouncing back and forth. And so I think as a result of that, and just part of that is a result of sort of living the troubadour lifestyle for a little bit, but also the idea that I'm not really a big fan of like a lot of stuff, things and stuff, right? Luckily, most of the stuff that I like and that I do is like very compact, right? If I want to watch a movie, it's like you've got all the movies just about in the world at your disposal. You've got them in your phone, you've got them in a laptop or whatever, right? If I want to play video games, I've got just about all the video games in the world at my disposal within a small space, that sort of thing. So the things that actually entertain me and the things that I actually care about aren't like, like I'm not a big fan of like clothes and that kind of stuff. Like you probably won't see me out in the street with like, what do they call it? Stunting? You're not going to see me out in the street stunting. It's probably not going to happen. So, Emma, thanks for being such a solid pal and helping me move between sublets that one time. Oh my gosh. I do remember that. Yeah. Hey, listen, y'all, moving in New York City is one of the worst experiences one can have. My friend Emma here needed someone to help her move, and I was like, you know what? I've been there. I know it. Let's go. And I do remember that. I remember the stairs. I do remember the stairs. So, no, shout out to you, Emma. I hope everything is well. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's see, Ray, what is your favorite actor in Hollywood? I don't think I actually really have a favorite per se. You know what I mean? Like it's like everybody does good work, and there are a lot of folks who do good work. There are a lot of folks who have done good work who also do things that I'm just like, okay, that isn't what I know you to, what I've experienced from you on the whole. So I mean, favorite actor is more like, it's tough. It depends on what it is, because even people who I'm like generally like, oh, well, I don't know what to expect from this. You get really surprised. So that's my way of trying not to say such and such or so and so is my favorite actor. Because the fact of the matter is I've actually had the pleasure of working with a lot of people in my life, people who you probably have never heard of, right? Theater, short films, that kind of stuff. People that I've like seen things and been like, ooh, I gotta like, let me borrow that. How'd you do that? Like, let me get a hit of that to use that for at some point in the future. And so, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a strange thing, but, yeah. Sorry, I was drifting off into another place. Let's see, what's my favorite superhero in DC? I mean, I have to say Cyborg now. I mean, I've definitely gotten a more intimate look at the character. And when I say Cyborg, I would definitely stress that my favorite iteration of Cyborg would be Marv Wolfman and George Perez's iteration of Cyborg from the New Teen Titans, right? It was deep, and those guys weren't afraid to take it there at all. So what I will say about the Snyder Cut is that if you're looking at that Cyborg, you're probably going to see a bit more of the Marv Wolfman, George Perez interpretation of Cyborg with respect to what we were going for. So that's the only thing I can say about that right now. Yeah. And like I said, try your best in the chat. Keep the expletives, particularly when it comes to Mr. Whedon. Keep them keep them so minimal that they do not exist. That's not how we run in this stream. That's not how we run in this chat. I appreciate the passion. I appreciate the support, but it doesn't need to come out in that way. So, And just to clarify too, because I've come to understand and I recognize that I did spell Joss Whedon's name incorrectly, and I do want to apologize about that. That was not an intentional thing. So for anybody who is out there saying, "Oh well, he spelled his name incorrectly," it's not a thing, not purposefully, at least. So, yeah. Well, our tea is almost through, and so must we be too. But I appreciate you guys bearing with me. I appreciate the love and support that you've been showing to Cyborg and all things DC. Oh, wait, I was just about to do my exit speech, and then JL Foote comes back with it. I met you at Heroes and Villain in Central New Jersey. You gave me advice on how to get into the acting business. I know someone you went to high school with. Aha! Yes. Okay, yeah. I think the advice I probably would have given you at that point is advice that James Earl Jones often gives to people, which is, my advice is don't listen to any advice, right? Including this advice. And you can tell me if I'm wrong, but this is something that I had the privilege of being able to work at a lot of the theaters on Broadway, right, as a bartender, serving water and wine and candy and stuff like that during intermissions. And I got a chance to sit down and talk to James Earl Jones for an extended period of time. And he was like, best advice is no advice, because no path is the same. You've got to go and do your thing. So, yeah. Anywho, I'll see you guys later on today. For those of you that are into the video game side of things, I'll see you at 6 p.m. I'll try my best to be right on time with that. And for those of you who aren't into that, I'll probably see you on Monday. And yeah, anywho, sorry, I'm drifting off between the sleepy ha-has and the getting distracted by how hard the wind is blowing and the rain is pouring out here now. So let me bounce out of here. But peace and love to each and every one of you out there. Thank you for doing everything you're doing to stop the spread of COVID-19. Thank you for everything you're doing to promote social justice in this country for Black people and for those who don't look like you. Thank you for everything that you're doing with respect to the support and love that you've given to me over the last week and over the many years. And thank you for trying to take the negative situations in your life and turn them into something positive for other people. It is not an easy thing to do, but it is a necessary thing, I think, to do. So as long as we keep trying, we're going to get it done. So until next time, my friends, peace. You already know.